Kati, you were born in Hungary. You escaped from there as a child. You've been involved in activism in recent years against the doings of Orban's government, but also you've known Orban personally for many years.
I have.
Can you get inside his head for us? Who is he really, and what is he doing?
Let me just say that in Europe today, it is unacceptable to be overtly anti-Semitic. You can be overtly anti-Muslim, anti-LGBTQ, as Viktor Orban is. He rails against LGBTQ communities loudly and frequently in a way that he would never allow himself or allow anyone in his administration to do about the Jewish community. But the fundamental problem in Hungary is that Hungary has not confronted its own history, and therein lies the crux of why we can't trust the present. Because as the Nobel Committee today so beautifully stated in awarding the Nobel Peace Prize to 3 human rights activists, one from Ukraine, one from Russia, and one from Belarus, that confronting past crimes is essential in preventing future ones. It's that simple. Hungary has not confronted its heinous past the way, for example, Germany has. Hungary still portrays itself, and Orban encourages this, as a victim. I was in Hungary when Orban erected among the most hideous pieces of kitsch art I've ever seen in a central square in Budapest, which portrayed Hungary as a falling angel. The portrait of innocence with a huge kind of Grimm's fairy tale style bird pecking out its eye. That the monster bird representing Germany, the victim, the falling angel, Hungary. Well, this is not a realistic portrayal of what happened in Hungary. And, I am personally familiar with that because my grandparents were good Hungarian citizens of many generations, were taken with a great deal of help from their neighbors to the Auschwitz-bound trains. I've never even seen a photograph of my grandmother and grandfather because nothing remained of their belongings. And a few years ago, I went to find what was left and looked for the synagogue from where they were entrained in the town of Miskolc. And it was a Sunday, and the only place that was open was the pub across the street from where my guidebook indicated this was the synagogue. And the surly woman behind the bar said, "There's no synagogue. There's no synagogue here." And I said, "Well, look, there had to have been." And she shrugged and went back to pouring drinks. And because my husband, Richard Holbrook, who is a very stubborn guy, he said, "Come on, we're gonna find that synagogue." And it turned out that the concrete wall around the former synagogue, which entirely blocked what was left of the synagogue, there was a small door. We got in, and Richard said, "Let me call Leonard Lauder." Leonard Lauder, of course, a great supporter of restoring Hungarian and other synagogues in the region. And Richard got Mr. Lauder on the phone and said, "Yes, indeed, we're restoring the synagogue behind the barrier." And so we got in, and there was a great deal of activity and construction work behind the barrier. But to me, this was a metaphor for here is this American philanthropist trying to revive the past, and the Hungarian community surrounding that effort is indifferent and ignorant, and that is a problem because how do you prevent another round of murderous violence if the community isn't aware of its capacity for that kind of treacherous violence. So it's, in contrast to Germany, where, I've spent much of the last 4 years in writing the biography of Chancellor Merkel, where every kid from age 6 onward is taken to one of the horrible shrines to the Holocaust that dot the former Reich. It's a part of their national identity. Hungary has not done that hard work, and therefore, when Viktor Orban turns George Soros, obviously a Jewish capitalist, the perfect demon for Orban, into a symbol of everything that's wrong with the West, everybody gets what he's saying. It's the Jews who are to blame for every damn thing. So it needs to happen, that confronting of the role that Hungary played in sending good Hungarians, their fellow citizens, to their death.
So, yeah. So I have heard